is happening? Welcome to another Seeker Beat Surf Report number 23. Fun with priority boxes. That was my little homage to Sheldon Cooper in The Big Bang Theory when he does fun with flags. So what's going on? What's happening? What's shaking? How are you? Sorry, I was a little late. I was having a technical difficulty. It wouldn't let my second computer join. I don't know why. And then all of a sudden it did. Who knows? Yeah, now sometimes technology thwarts us. So what's going on? What's happening? What's shaking? How are all my beachcombers doing? All right, this is going to be a little bit different than the norm because usually it's a whole slide presentation, sometimes with live examples. This is pretty much live examples with a little bit of slide presentation. And I'm going to try and, angle it so you can see the best. So, bear with me if it isn't right. I will keep my eye on the chat. So if I'm getting ready to show you a demonstration and you're not seeing it properly, just say, hey, I can't see it. All right. So of those of you watching live, how many feel that you 100% understand shipping, especially when it comes to priority mail? I thought I did, and then I learned something new today that I've been missing for a little while. So yeah, so I'm going to teach you everything like I was planning on teaching you, and then I'm going to throw you a little bit of a curveball, but you should know both of these things anyway. So Debbie, come on now. Hello, everybody. All right, so look, 30%. Okay, cool. So we're going to get you guys 100%. It's Q4. You should know all the options for shipping. Now, I'm going to teach you like I didn't learn something new today. I'm going to teach you like we've just been doing it through eBay with our discounts, yada, yada. All right. So let's start with our envelopes. I cannot imagine any of you that doesn't have a priority mail flat rate envelope. Is there anyone who doesn't have a priority mail regular flat rate envelope? Now, I am going to show you a printout you can take to your post office. And this does not have to be flat in shape. I ship jeans in here regularly. I ship clothing in here regularly. The rule is, and I'll show it to you in a bit in their actual writing, the rule is you can put a piece of tape across, and as long as it closes under its own power, and then you can put one piece of tape across, you are good to go. All right. Michelle said you have never needed one. Now, how is that possible, Michelle? How is that possible? I have shipped thousands and thousands of items in this envelope. It is $6.35 anywhere in the country, including Alaska, Hawaii, Guam, American Samoa, Puerto Rico, U.S. Virgin Islands. So if you've not used this, have you? Okay, so you say you don't sell clothing. I ship CDs in here. I ship all kinds of stuff. And when we get to this in 2 seconds, I ship half of my inventory in this padded one. All right, Susan, you've never used one either. Now, how can that be possible? How can that be possible? This is shocking me right now. I don't understand how you've never used the cheapest way to ship something. Now, Debbie's asking, aren't padded better because of stretchiness of it? Yeah, but if I'm just shipping, if someone wants to pay priority mail for a Hawaiian shirt, I don't need the padded. I'll just stick it in here. $6.35. Cheapest way it can go. All right. So, Susan, you said you use padded all the time. Now, Susan, if you got stuff that could go in this, you're spending an extra 60 cents. Why spend an extra 60 cents? Now, 60 cents don't sound like a lot, but like I said, I have shipped thousands and thousands of these. So when you time 60 cents by, let's say, 4,000, that's a lot of money. So have these too. So I'm a little shocked right now, but that's cool. That's why we do this. Yay! Have some of these. This is a regular flat rate envelope. Yes, Debbie, it can get wet and fall apart, but guess how many of these ship every day around the world, Debbie? I would guess 1 million every day. Every day. So the likelihood of it sitting out in a puddle of water is pretty slim. Pretty slim. I have never had an issue. Ever. But it's cheap, $6.35. Right, yeah. If it's under 16 ounces, of course you send first class. But when your customer, especially in Q4, wants to upgrade a priority, if it's in this, only $6.35. Now, I was holding up the wrong one the whole time. This one. This is actually a legal one. So there is the regular flat rate envelope, and then there's the legal size. So as you can see, it's a little bit longer. And so I use the legal for clothing, jeans. Jeans are a little bit easier in this one. And so this is $635. This is $660. And the padded flat rate is $690. So you should have all three of these envelopes at your disposal in your shipping cubicle. So whatever the smallest one it fits in, do it. Save money. Look, 35 cents here, 60 cents here, a nickel there, 10 cents there. It all adds up. We all been doing this a long time. Can you imagine? Because I figured out fine-tuning shipping right when I started. That was 18 years ago. Can you imagine how much I have saved in 18 years because I always fine-tuned and I figured it out like, okay, if I shave this little bit of the box off, I can get it under this pound and save $2. I've saved tens of thousands of dollars over 18 years. I am sure of that. Since it's flat rate, Kara Cooper says, do you put a shirt in a Ziploc before mailing in an envelope? Not normally. I don't have any Ziplocs. So if we're now in the middle of winter, and it's inclement most places, but here I will use one of these that I have this is what I normally ship my first class in, and then I chuck it in there. Yes, Sabrina, most of the things I'm going to show you today, you will not see at the post office. You have to go to USPS.com, sign up with an account, which is free, and order all these supplies there. Don't even worry about going to the post office. Just have them delivered to your front door. It's easy. Front door. Woohoo! All right, so 3 envelopes, legal, regular, and padded. Now, the padded is what I use to ship all my FOMO stuff, all my tiki mugs, coffee mugs, other breakables. This can hold a lot. You can give this a little bit of a stretch, too, just a little bit, so you can get it even more stuff in there. So make sure you have all 3 envelopes. Now, those are all flat rates. This is the 4th envelope. It's called the Tyvek. It just goes by weight. Now, what I use this for, it's pretty good for squishing plush in there or squishing, sometimes you get those like sweatshirts that are big, but not necessarily heavy. They're just like poofy. So you won't fit in this necessarily, but it will fit in here. So I do use this sometimes. I always have these on hand. These are the Tyvek envelopes. Too gloomy for me. What I don't know what that means, Susan. What's too gloomy? Yeah. So I sent Angela's Secret Beach glass on a padded flat rate. Oh, padded flat rate. Yeah. I mean, I go through so many of all these. It's crazy. So many. Oh, living in. I thought you were talking about gloomy envelopes. I'm like, what? What happened? What did I miss in the chat? All right. So that's your envelopes. Get them ordered. Have them. Even if you don't use them a ton, there's going to be that one day when you sell something that's small enough. Do you sell books? Do you sell booklets? Do you sell ephemera? Do you sell a pamphlet? And your customer goes, hey, I want to upgrade to priority. Boom. If it fits in the padded, if it fits in the regular flat rate envelope, $6.35 anywhere in the country. Oh, that's cool, Susan. No need to apologize. I didn't see that discussion of Washington, and I'm like, what happened? Envelopes are gloomy? All right. Next, we're going to talk about the Cube. This is one of my favorite boxes. How much a nerd I am. I have a favorite box. This is not it, but it's close second. What's nice is this is a much thicker cardboard than some of the boxes. So what you need to know, too, is not all the boxes are created equal. Some are very thin cardboard. Some are very thick. So you got to make sure you're paying attention to the thickness of your cardboard. So there's a shoe box, and that is my favorite box. And then here is the Cube. As you can see, much thinner over here. All right. So the Cube just goes by weight, and it's a cube. Hence the name, the Cube. Now, this will be my first Frankenboxing demonstration. I often use 2 cubes together. So if you've never put 2 boxes together, let me demonstrate. Because the cube is great, but sometimes you need a cube that's just a little bit taller. And I'm going to apologize in advance for the sounds of the tape gun, because it probably won't sound good, especially if you're listening on the headphones right now. I do apologize. Whoop. Okay, so when you Frankenbox something, let me angle down here a little bit. Typically, not always, but typically you're just putting two of the same box together. Oh, great question, Lori. The cube is 7 by 7 by 6. And it says it right in the box. 7 by 7 by 6. All right. So we're going to take a second one of the same size and we're going to slide it over top of the bottom one. Now, because it's the same size, it shouldn't fit where you just slide it down, no problem. All right. So let me get it over the top here. All right. This, you could go like this. Say you need it this tall, you could go like this. But if you don't need it this tall, you just need it a little bit taller. You don't want to make it tall that you're wasting packing material. So say you want to push it down and make it just a smidge shorter. So great question, Kara. If a cube is big enough, why not use the shoebox? The shoebox is more narrow and a lot thinner cardboard. So if I was to send a very fragile tiki mug, I wouldn't send in the shoebox because the shoebox is more narrow. I cannot get packing all the way around a tiki mug in the shoebox. And it's thinner cardboard. That's why. All right. So what you're going to do is you're going to take the corner of the edge of the corner of the bottom box on all four corners and just give it a little push in. So you're going to give it, basically you're giving it a little dent. And if any of you are coming to Minneapolis class, you can take a bathroom break at this point because I'll be showing you in Minneapolis too. All right. So once you got a little dent in there we go. Now we can slide it all the way down. Now it is just a little bit taller. So as you can see the difference? But nice and thick. And now once you've double boxed it too, not only is it a thick cardboard, now it is super duper strong because we've got this heck of an overlap on these two boxes. All right. So there you go. So of course you want to tape it. So there become one box. Put your item in, fill your peanuts in. There you go. Okay. So that's how you Frankenbox to make bigger. We will do smaller in a minute. All right, but I do love the shoebox. Now, this is where the post office does us no favors by adding words in that confuses a lot of people. How many of you, and we will not make fun of you, this is not a reason to make fun of, but how many of you at some point thought that the only thing that could ship in this box was actually shoes? And when the post office uses that word, it confuses people. And you don't have to be dumb. You don't have to be smart. You don't have to be new. You don't have to be old. You hear shoebox and you're like, oh, I guess I can only ship shoes in it. But when I tell people, oh, you can ship anything you want, it just was about the same size as a regular shoebox. Now, of course, that is discrimination against us big people because let me tell you, 13 4Es do not fit in this box. But if I Frankenbox two of them together, then they will. So thin cardboard, but nice and tall. And I do use this box quite a bit. And what's nice about the thin cardboard is if it's something that's not super breakable, but you just need that little protection, it saves on weight. So it might keep you under the next pound. Oh, don't jump ahead, Deb. Don't jump ahead, Deb. That's one of the last boxes. Now, Angela said, I thought only letters can go in those cardboard envelopes. Is that something you just learned today, Angela, or you meant in the past? But I would assume by now you would know that's not the case. Now, this shoebox goes by weight only. All right. Yeah, Debbie's so excited about boxes. She's got excited about her favorite box, so she's jumping ahead. Yeah, this is oh, so you just learned that tonight, Angela, huh? Okay, well, good. I'm glad you learned something. I have shipped so many clothes in the regular flat rate envelope. Pew. Okay, next thing is regional box A. Now, I know people don't understand the regional boxes. There are two versions. What's called the top load, because see, you load it in the top. So at least that wording makes sense. And then you got the side load, and it will say regional rate box A. You load it on the side. That's pretty self-explanatory. Now, on top of that, you have regional B, again, side load and top load. Oh, now Michael's favorite box. All right. By the way, Michael, I'm going to teach you something in a bit that makes these boxes obsolete. I'm still going to teach it to you. All right. So, again, top load and side load. Now, of course, A to B is bigger, and they also use thicker cardboard from A to B, too. All right. Now, here's where people get confused. They're like, oh, I can only ship to my region or whatever. Again, it's a – oh, hello, goodbye. It's a word the post office shouldn't have used because it confused everybody. Yes, and Susan's right. There's so many of those boxes that look the same. You have to read them. Yes, you must read, always read. So let me show you something because you don't really need to have to know anything about the regional boxes to understand them. Here's what you need to know. You need to be able to go to your shipping screen and compare shipping rates. All right, so I got to ship this shirt tomorrow morning. And just for funnin', let's pretend the shirt weighs 3 pounds, just so I can demonstrate something for you. And the measurements on the A are 10 by 7 by 5. 10 by 7 by 5. Oh, is this going close? No, Pennsylvania. Okay. So if it can go in a priority flat rate envelope, of course, it'll be $6.35. We just learned that. But let's pretend it's bigger than that. And so when we click show more here, and by the way, this is the new shipping screen. I just got it today, so it threw me for a loop there for a second. As you can see right here, regional rate box A is $10.80. So if it doesn't fit in an envelope, and it doesn't fit in, if it doesn't fit in an envelope, the next cheapest thing would be a regional rate, regional A box. So if it fits in the A box, that's your cheapest box. Boom. So you don't even have to understand nor comprehend it. You just got to see, okay, what's the smallest, what's the cheapest priority item I can use to get my product to my customer safely. Okay? Does that make sense? You don't really have to understand any of this, but all you got to do is look at this rate chart. So we have plugged in the weight. So we're at 3 pounds, 1 ounce. The measurements of the box, and then we just look. Okay, well, this fits in a flat rate envelope. It is $6.35. The flat rate envelope's a little bit too small, but it fits in a legal. It's $6.65. If it's breakable, and we want to put it in the padded flat rate, it's $6.90. Now, if it would just go by straight up any box, it'd be $17.61. That way, if it'll fit in the regional A, you're saving $7, about $7. Okay? Yeah. So Marianne's saying she got the new shipping screen today. She hates it. You will for a week, and then you'll be like, oh, I don't remember the old shipping screen, but I think I can switch here, so I'll show you guys. Yeah, let's go to the classic page for a second, because some of you are still on this. Did it retain my? Nope, it didn't retain them. Okay. All right, so let's plug it in. So this is how some of you would see it. So we'll put in 3 pounds, 1 ounce, change the dimensions. It is 10 by 7 by 5. 10 by 7 by 5. 3 pounds, 1 ounce. Calculate. Okay, and here again, it gives you this nice screen that shows you, okay, well, if I can fit it in a regional A, it's $10.80. Now, maybe a regional A is too small, and you bump up to a medium flat rate, that's only $12.45. So do your damnedest to not have to ship it just straight up priority, because straight up priority is $17.61. Even a large flat rate box is $17.10. That's 51 cents cheaper. So the only time you should pay them $17.61 is if it's so big, it won't fit in a regional A. It won't fit in a medium flat rate. It won't fit in a large flat rate. And a regional B is $21, so that's not even part of the equation. All right. Okay, so we have regional A, we have regional B. And then we have medium flat rate. So medium flat rate. And again, we have top load and side load. And look how old some of my boxes are. These Spider-Man boxes for priority, it came out so long ago. Oh, great question, Susan. So will regional boxes ship anywhere in the US? Yes, anywhere. That's why I said it's a crappy word for them to use. It confused so many people. Regional boxes go anywhere. So again, you don't have to understand them. All you got to be able to do is read with your eyes. Look at that chart. Look at this chart. And figure out the cheapest one that you can get your item in, and it'll get there safely. Okay? So as long as you have all these things at your arsenal, you're good. All right, when did these boxes come out? I meant to look this up before I started this webinar. Spider-Man priority boxes. Tells you how long I've had these laying around. 4 years ago. Almost 4.5 years ago. So I've of course used medium flat rate boxes and replenished, but these kept getting buried in the bottom, so I thought it was funny that I dug those out. Yes, so what's regional about it is that box is going to change price depending on where it's going. So again, let's not get too bogged down in the minutia because you really don't need to know it. Just look at the chart. Just look at it and figure out which one you can get it in cheapest. All right, that's all you got to do. So we got the medium flat rate side and top. And of course, we have the large flat rate top. Now, so far, everything's looked the same. Although they're different sizes and thicknesses, the large, the medium, the regional A, the regional B, they're all the same kind of shape. Here's where it differs a little bit. So this is the large top load, just like every other box we've had so far. The large side load's a little bit different. It's called a game box. So it is a side load, but it's really long. And it is built for games. Of course, again, you don't have to put games in it. Anything can go in here. But it's nice and long. So if you're selling board games like Monopoly and Payday and Sorry and Chutes and Ladders, there's your box right there. Ba-bam. So, Susan, you say you're using Parcel Post. I almost never use Parcel Post. There is almost no time where Parcel Post is the cheapest option. Because if you're shipping heavy stuff, usually FedEx Home's a cheaper option. So let me ask you, Susan, what are you shipping that you're using Parcel Post? Also, when you use Parcel Post, if you've got 10 people selling the same thing as you, you're the slowest. If everyone else is shipping priority, so when people search, you'll be the last one on the list. And of course, besides teaching you guys products to buy and how to ship it better, I also got to teach you to make sure that you're doing all the right things in terms of service to make you higher in the ranking, so people don't have to go hunt for you. And Andrew said those boxes are good for Nerf blasters. Heck yeah. So usually glass items all different weights, but what kind of different size? So are we talking glass items that weigh like 30 pounds or glass items that weigh like 1.5 pounds? So when you say different weights, are we talking big, like ball of glass? Or are we talking glass? Because Parcel shouldn't even be in your arsenal. I've used and I'll check Parcel, but I've used Parcel when it was the better deal, maybe 2 times in the last 12 months. That's it. So it is almost never the best way to go. So I want to make sure that you aren't missing out because you've picked the slowest way to go. Question around 10. Oh, 4-core bowls. Okay, so Susan, have you checked FedEx Home? Because I'm gonna bet you that you're spending extra money you don't need to be spending. Now, FedEx Home and Parcel Select are going to ship about the same amount of time, so the speed won't change, but you're throwing money away. I'm going to guess every week you're probably taking a $20 bill and throwing it out the window, depending on how much you sell. And we don't want you to do that because FedEx Home is pretty sweet. It's pretty cheap deal. Can I drop FedEx Smart Post in my post office? We don't have a FedEx shop near me. Yes, and you also can call for pickups too. Maybe not. Maybe scratch that pickup thing. I don't think Smart Post does pickups. But Smart Post used to be cheaper. They're not anymore. So I always check. If I'm going to send it that way, I check Smart Post and Home. Home tends to be cheaper than Smart Post. All right, so back to our priority mailboxes. All right, so here's a question for those of you watching live. How many of you know there is a side load? There are 3 sizes of the side load box that are not regional and that are not flat rate. These are just by weight. So as you can see, let me line them up from one end. As you can see, they're all different heights and lengths. So these are not regional. They are not flat rate. They're just by weight. So how many of you knew there was 3 different sizes? Anyone? Anyone? Bueller? I'm going to guess most of you don't know that. So you should have these too, because sometimes weight is just the best way to go. And here's when it's the best way to go is if you're sending it someplace close. So I lucked out. I live in Vegas. LA is this way and San Diego. Phoenix is this way and Tucson. And Utah and Salt Lake City is that way. So within my region, things ship a little bit cheaper. So a lot of times I just need a box. And it's cheaper than flat rate. It's cheaper than regional rate. All right, good. Marianne has them all. Angela did not. Jeff did. Susan only knew 2. Okay. Kenny didn't know 90% of this. But Susan, that's why you're here. And that's why all of you are here. I teach you guys all new things. And that's what's great. So make sure you have all 3 sizes. Well, speaking of multiple sizes, how many of you have this box in your arsenal? The tube, the triangle tube. So they have 2 sizes of this also, a short and a tall. So the one that's put together is the taller of the 2. And Marie in the Secret Beach shipped a golf club with a tube today. I ship bats. Now, bats don't break. They don't really need packing. But a bat isn't big enough just to wrap the label around. It would be too narrow. So I just toss a bat in here with a little bit of paper to keep it so it doesn't bounce around. And then I use this. What are the 3 sizes called? Kevin wants to know on these boxes. I don't know if they have the number on here. All right, so the first one's 11.5 by 2 3/4 by 13 1/8. The next one is 12 1/4 by 2 3/4 by 13 1/3. And the last one is 12 3/8 by 3 by 5 1/4. They'll be on the USPS website to order. Oh, umbrellas. Yeah, I never sold umbrellas, but yeah, this would be good for umbrellas. And again, you can Frankenbox them, make them bigger, which we've done before. Yes, all these supplies are available on the USPS.com website. Where is the chart you're using? I use the chart in my listing page and my regional doesn't show up. Well, I'm on the shipping page right now, Beverly. So right here, I plugged in the weight and then I clicked on compare delivery services. And so that shows the regional boxes. And yes, these are all free. Now, the other thing I wanted to show you that most of you probably don't know, or maybe not most of you, maybe some of you. Where is it? Well, I had it here. Pause for a second. Well, crap. So there is. Oh, no, it's in my presentation. I'm a goober. There we go. So you can go to eBay and you can get eBay branded USPS priority mail supplies. And I'm going to pop the second I end this video, I'm popping the link into the post for this webinar. And So if those of you want a little bit more branding, these boxes will show up and it'll say eBay and USPS Priority Mail. They don't have all the sizes. They have a medium flat rate boxes. I think a bigger box. I don't know. These are all by sizes. So just order a group of each and then see what you what you can use. And most of these, if not all, but most will not be in your local post office. So you can't just waltz in there and go to the post office. Now, the last mistake the post office made is we have the large flat rate box, and this is called the, oh, whoops. Excuse me. I'm a goober again. I'll be right back. Wait a minute. Yep. Okay. Never mind. It's right here. So this is the large flat rate box. See, large flat rate. This is the large mailing box. Two totally different things. Different boxes. This one goes at a set rate. This one goes by weight. Why they thought they should use the word large twice is beyond me. Because, again, it confuses everybody. Now, yes, Andrew said, word of caution, pay close attention to the quantities you're ordering. Sometimes it's by the 25. And so if you're thinking you're ordering by the 1, you're like, I'll take 50 of those. Whoops. I think they've limited, Andrew, how many you can order because that mistake happens so often. And the other problem is it's not uniform. So this box you can order in groups of 10, and this box you can order in groups of 25. Why they don't make it uniform is beyond me. But hey, that's the post office. I'm not bagging on them, just saying. Okay, so what's nice about the large mailing box, and I use this box quite a bit, it's large, and it just goes by weight. And again, between LA, San Diego, Las Vegas, Tucson, Phoenix, and Salt Lake City, that's 40 million people. Wait, yeah, could be. And so I get a lot of things shipping where I don't have to pay a lot. So I can use this nice big box. Now let's say this is the perfect box for you, but it doesn't have to be this tall. Okay. So now we're going to Frankenbox a box to make it smaller. So first thing you're going to do is put your flaps down, and you should have these. Now, I don't know what the technical term for these are, but typically you get them at events like e-commerce, Chicago, e-com Chicago, sometimes eBay Live. These hold your corners down. So when you're packing a box, especially those of you who aren't strong, you know, if you're a little bit older, like my parents, maybe you've got arthritis, this helps hold your box open while you're packing and putting your peanuts in. So, the other brand I use, it says Flapjacks, J-A-X on the side. And so look up corner holders, I guess. I don't know exactly what the technical term is for these. All right, so Beverly, I'm guessing you're doing calculated shipping. So you're plugging in weight and measurements ahead of time. I don't do that. I know all my shipping weights. We talked about that last month. And you're saying, where is the shipping page? The shipping page. When you ship an item, that's the shipping page. So, like, I have to ship an item. That's the shipping page. All right. So I hope that makes sense now. You know, the shipping page when you ship an item in the morning. Okay. You should have a box resizer. If you don't, again, it's a tool you should have on your desk at all times. So what you do with the box resizer, you set it to the where you want it to be, how short you want it. And you lock it in. So there's this serrated edge right here. And that'll score the box. Then we can make the box shorter. I'm trying to angle this down a little bit more. There. That'll work. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start scoring the box. Whoops. So I've got my guide set where I want it. I'm going to put it in there. I'm going to score the box. Now I'm going to score this side. I bet you this sounds great if you're listening on that phone. Sorry. This is a noisy one. And then last side. Then you're going to take your scissors and you're going to cut down the corners to where the serrated part is. So there's that. There's that. There's that. There's that. Now, instead of having a box this tall, you have a box that tall. See how quick and easy and neat and clean, and the sides are all equal, so they're not all like one side's really high, one side's really low. Now, when you're doing this, you're doing it by weight. Check your weight. If you are gonna remain within a pound, within inside the pound, don't take any of this excess off. If you're over to the next pound by an ounce or so, then trim off one of these, because you really don't need 4 flaps. So if the weight's going to matter, trim a little bit. If it doesn't matter, leave it. It makes it stronger. Okay? Easy peasy. You should have one of these and 2 of these. Okay? You don't always need them, but when you do, oh man, I got to tell you, I'll give you guys a live demonstration. I watched a resizing box video the other day on YouTube, and a dude had electric scissors that cut through cardboard like it was going through melted butter. And I'm like, oh my God, where you been all my life? No more of this. So once I get one, I'll do a little how-to video. It was $40, but just watching him, and I had to resize a box today for a round serving tray going to I think I went to Spain, and I had to cut some thick cardboard in it. It was, and I'm a big dude, and my assistant's a little girl, and so if she was here by herself, she'd be like, So with these electric scissors, it's amazing. All right, so Bubble Fast sells the box resizers. Use Tiki Pug at checkout, and you'll save 10%. But you got to do it on their website. Don't do it on eBay because you can't plug in the discount. So might as well save yourself some money. Yeah, an overhead can would be nice. Have I used the box resizer with side load boxes? No, because most of the side loads are really thin. And because there's so many sizes of side loads, I've never ever had to make one smaller. Because as you saw, you've got regional A, regional B, medium flat rate, large flat rate, and 3 that just go by weight. So they're all different sizes. So you really should never have to change the size too much of a side load. This is typically for top loads. And, you don't use it too often on priority boxes. It's when you're shipping something big, like say a blow mold. You don't need the box to be oversized. So get your blow mold in, and then you just trim it down and fold it in. Make it nice and easy. Yeah, my dad can use a straight edge knife, and my dad's like the man. He can do it real smooth and straight, but I can't. I'm okay to admit I need this, but this is great because he can eyeball it too. He knows where it needs to be. This with the guard, you set it up, you get your product packed in the box, and then you set up this to where how much you need to thin it down. So yeah, I'll admit, I don't have my dad's eye for that. I can't do that at all. All right. So let me show you some more things that are very, very important. Okay. This is from the DMM. The DMM is the post office's own manual. So this is directly from the post office. Proper use of flat containers. Is tape allowed? So sorry, should be pushing play. Ta-da. Is tape allowed? Yes, tape is allowed on the seams and flaps of a flat rate envelope or a flat rate box. Tape is allowed to reinforce the flaps of a flat rate envelope within its normal folds, and of course, to properly close a flat rate box. What they're saying is you can't press the flat rate envelope to the limits of its core and then just tape the whole thing round and round and round. That does not fly in their eyes. How much tape is acceptable? Tape is permissible as reinforcement on the seams and the flaps to make sure the container does not break open during processing and transit. However, tape should not encase the entire envelope or box. Okay? What about bulges? I learned this a little bit new today. I was doing this a little bit different. As long as the flat rate envelope or flat rate box can close within normal folds, bulges are not a problem. So here was the misconception I was under until I did my research last night. So I love doing things for you guys. I learned too. All right. So we do this medium flat rate box, and we go to put an item in there. I was always under the assumption it had to fold flat. Now, what they're saying is If it still goes down, but maybe it's a little bulge up like this, it's okay. It's okay. So they aren't making you do it flat. Again, if you have any problems with your post office, I'm going to post this in the Secret Beach. You print it out, you take it right to your post office and go, this is your rules. This is your rules. There is, what if the flat rate envelope is too thick? There is currently no maximum thickness for a flat rate envelope. And here's the key part. Flat refers to the price, not the shape. Yay. What if the flat rate envelope is stuffed so full that it's shaped like a cylinder, i.e. FOMO? As long as the flat rate envelope can close within its normal folds, and as long as the sides of the flat rate envelope haven't been reconstructed, it is fine. Flat refers to the price, not the shape. Again, if your post office gives you a hard time or sends something back, you print that out and go, wham, here you go. Read this. It's your manual. All right, so that's that. So there's more from the manual. Any amount of material up to 70 pounds may be mailed in a USPS produced priority flat rate envelope or flat rate box. Any amount of material. Material is a generic word for anything. That means it doesn't have to be paperwork. Because there are still employees who go, nope, must be paperwork. No, it doesn't. But be aware, flat rate containers are not eligible for shipping live animals. In case that was a problem for any of you. Now, here's the one thing I did not know. I did not know, and I learned this too. If you're using regional box A, it has a maximum weight limit of 15 pounds, whereas the flat rates and any other box is a maximum limit of 70. So you can't go beyond 15 pounds on A, and you can't go beyond 20 pounds on B. Okay, so check that out. Make sure you realize that. Package pickup service. All right, so how many of you are going to the post office to mail every day and aren't having pickups? And more importantly, is there anyone here not buying their shipping labels online? Is anyone here walking up, standing in line, and going up to the counter to pay for your shipping labels? So, Sabrina, you go to the post office to drop it off, or you go to the post office and actually pay at the post office? And Michael, yes, apparently you can ship a dead cat, just not a live cat. So I'll wait for Sabrina to clarify there. Okay, drop off. Now, drop off is fine if you're running errands. Now, L Rose, I admit I do the drop off because I want to know they're getting scanned. Rose, they're getting scanned. They are. Every morning, mine sit outside the front door and they get picked up and they go away. And guess what? They all get scanned. So stop having this fear of what ifs. What if a meteor comes and crushes you tonight in your house? What if a bus runs you over tonight? Could those things happen? Yep. Should we spend any second of our day worrying about it? Nope. So all the time you're spent standing in line is just wasted time. Don't do it. Yeah, my mail guy is awesome too. He picks up, like, look, I could have toxic waste dripping out of a box and a live cat, and he'd still take it. Because he, I take care of him at Christmas time, give him cold waters in the summer. He takes care of me too. No, Susan, you do not need a receipt. Hello. How's that? Am I back? Yeah, Toto. decided to get wrapped up in my cords and yank something out. I think you can hear me now. No, really? Because on my end, oh, okay. Phew. See, on my end, I see the little meter going up. Oh, phew. I was like, what? All right. So, does your mail carrier come at the regular delivery time to pick up your outgoing packages, or is the pickup for packages done earlier? Nope, mine does it at the regular time. So when he's dropping out the mail, he's picking up the mail. So what I was saying is, so there is no one watching right now that actually pays at the post office. Because shockingly, there's a lot of people in the thrifting board that do that. And why is beyond me, because they're throwing money away. It is always cheaper to ship online. So would you open your wallet and flush down a $100 bill once a month? Because that's what they're doing. Why anyone would do something that is just wasting money is beyond me. Because which of us has so much money they can flush $100 bills down the toilet? I don't. You don't. Debbie don't. Sabrina don't. My mom don't. Hey, yeah, sure, blame the dog. Yeah, he decided to get wrapped up in cords that have been here all day. And he's like, hey, what's this? Yank. All right. So, and then just even to show you another reason why you shouldn't be going to the post office. If you go to the post office, first class is 13 ounces. If you ship online, especially with eBay, it's 16 ounces. And man, there is so much stuff that I ship that 3 ounces makes a difference. All my records, for the most part, ship right at about the 1 pound rate. So I can get most records out at first class rates. That's pretty bitching. So if you're walking up to the counter, you're also losing out on 3 ounces on first class too. Do you think if my mail carrier picks up packages at 4 p.m., the package will be scanned in time? Oh, yeah, absolutely. They scan them as they're picking them up. That's how it works. As the carrier picks them up, they scan them all. That's their job. That's what they do. Yes, perfect, Debbie. Print it home. Some more money to spend at thrift stores or at the Tiki Bar. All right. Now that I've just taught you all that, I do want you to be aware of something that I know has been out there for a while, but I just sat down to look at it today, and I'm like, oh my gosh. There we go. All right, Kim, if your carrier doesn't scan the mail they're picking up, then you should have a conversation with them. If they still don't, you should have a conversation with your postmaster general at your post office. That's their job. That is their job. That's what they're supposed to do. Mine does it without fail. So I'm happy. I'm a happy camper. But we all know there's plenty of employees in every field that doesn't do their work the right way. And so if it's going to affect your business, you got to make sure it gets fixed right away. All right. So everything I just taught you, some of it's going to be thrown out the window now once we all start using this. But I wanted you to just be aware of all the packages. So pirateship.com is relatively new. Good timing, Michael. So I have been printing through eBay, but now that I see Pirate Ship, and I was just kind of bouncing around checking it today, they ship at a much cheaper rate on a lot of the packages than eBay does. They're really bringing crazy prices. And now they also offer international. So international is even cheaper. So you actually get rid of using the regional boxes, and I think maybe even the flat rate boxes, because you're going by cubic weight. And so you got to be accurate with your measurements. But from just me checking, it seems like this is the way to go. Now, Marie Bertrand has done a presentation on this. And so she's got a whole slideshow. And she is ready to do the presentation for y'all at Secret Beach. So let me use it for a week or two, and then we will give you the presentation, because I think it is so amazing, and I can't find a downside to it that cubic size, not weight. There's no fee. It's free. You can hook it right to your eBay store, right to your Etsy store, Shopify, and a few others. The only bummer is it doesn't have a hookup for Amazon, but I bet you it's going to come. So once you say, hey, Pirate Ship, this is my eBay store, it automatically just brings your orders over anytime you have one, and you ship with them, and you get a way better rate on a lot of the bigger stuff than eBay can offer. And then it automatically puts the tracking back into eBay. I still wanted you to know all these boxes because that was my plan today. And then I started poking around Pirate Ship. I'm like, why have I not been using this? All right, so you got to email them to get international. And Debbie said, I hope they sync with Bonanza too. They probably won't sync with Bonanza, but the good thing with Bonanza is you just go and print it and then plug in the barcode because they have the option that you can print and ship anything. So if you're shipping something, start with this, if nothing else. If you're shipping something to your mom in Poughkeepsie or your cousin in San Jose, use Pirate Ship because you can just print, just anything on demand. And especially if it's a bigger box, you'll save a lot of money. Yeah, so the Pirate Ship can print on the 4x6 labels that you use if you have a Brother or a Zebra printer. And it's pretty cool. So what I'm going to do is over the next couple of weeks, and I actually leave this week on Wednesday, I will go in and I will pretend I'm going to print on eBay and pretend I'm going to print on Pirate Ship, and I'll write down all the differences and show you how much money you're going to save. Because if I have to fly to each one of your houses and make you start using it, I will. Because is it easy to connect to eBay? Absolutely. You click the eBay picture, it goes over to your eBay site. eBay's going to go, are you allowing us to go into Pirate Ship for you, Jason? Yes, done. That's it. Super duper easy. Super. So I don't want anybody to get confused right now, but I played with it today and I'm like, oh my gosh. I tried a 3-pound package to Wisconsin and it was like $3.50 cheaper on Pirate Ship than eBay, and I'm top rated seller plus. So I am surely not throwing away $3.50 if I can get it, if I can keep it. Hell yeah. And international rates are way lower too. So if all of a sudden I can save you like $500 a year, I'm sure you would listen to me. Yes. Yes, Jason, we would for sure. All right. But again, I wanted you to know all the boxes just so you know them, just so you have that, education in your brain. And now I'm going to teach you something new that is going to throw some of it out there. But for now, you know all the priority boxes. Any last questions? What if you don't have an eBay? Oh, great question, Susan. Well, if I don't have an eBay store, doesn't matter. Didn't ask if I had a store. Just said eBay ID, click here. Bloop, bloop. Super easy. So store has nothing to do with it. And for those of you who are not top rated seller or seller plus, you're going to get the same rates that I get. And so you're going to get, if you are not top rated seller, you should be using Pirate Ship starting tomorrow for sure, because you're going to get the discounted rate for sure. Do I use APO boxes? Yeah. When someone buys for an APO box, absolutely. I ship to anybody, anywhere. I don't care. I've never cared. And I never thought to care. So in March of 2000, I started selling CDs and I taught myself everything, including international shipping and APO shipping. And I never had a thought back then because I had no one to talk to. I had nobody else doing it. It was still very young and fresh. And I went from selling a couple things to 300 to 500 items a month. Like, crap, I got to figure this all out. Figure it out well. I never had a thought to not ship internationally, to not ship to APOs to our military men and women. And why people have the thoughts not to. I never thought not to ship to Alaska and Hawaii. I never thought not to ship to PO Box. Why people think that it's beyond me. I don't even understand it. Like, I'm in the business to sell and make money. Why wouldn't I just want the option that every customer to buy from me? Why would I limit any customer based on anything shipping? Nothing. I ship to Italy. I ship to Brazil. I ship to Russia. Have I had problems over 18 years? Yeah, but I had problems going to LA too. And I live 3.5 hours from LA. But I didn't cut out California, and I didn't cut out Russia, and I didn't cut out Italy because not every package had a problem. Just a few here and there. But that's business. If you have a brick and mortar, people steal from you. That's business. It's part of it. There's that loss column. Not everything's in the plus column. Some things are in the loss column. But keep that in mind. People get afraid. And nowadays they get afraid because they read these horror stories everywhere. But here's what they forget. All right. So I want to end with this. Think about this. Let's say that today, a dozen people had a shipping problem in the thrifting board and they posted it. Oh, man, I shipped a box to Italy and it got stolen. Oh, man, I shipped a box to Brazil. They cut it open. The box made it, but there was no contents. I shipped a box to Russia 4 months ago. Still was made to the customer. I shipped a box to Canada and never crossed the border. I shipped a box to my cousin in Myrtle Beach, and the neighbor stole it. Okay? Say there's 12 of those today. And so if you're reading through the thrifting board, you're thinking, man, boom, 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 whack, 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 whack. All these problems are hitting you. Okay. But here's what people forget. And this is where you got to keep that in your brain. That's 12 problems. Say we're all crappy sellers and we only sell and ship one item a day. There are 51,532 members in the thrifting board. If we take away the 12 that have problems, that means 51,520 packages safely had no issues today. But people don't think of it that way. They think of the 12 poor people that had a problem. Guess what? Every single day of us, 51,532, one of us has a problem, at least. But the other 51,531 don't. But you got to remember those that don't. Every single day, tens of thousands of packages just from our little group get sent without an issue. Every day. And every day, maybe a handful have an issue. But that's just life. That's just business. I've been running into twice in my new truck. I ran into nobody. That's a big-ass truck to drive. 2 people ran into me. Once when I was parked. But I ain't going out today thinking, someone going to hit me again? They might. I didn't expect 2 people to hit me already. But I think about the 18,000 miles I've driven that truck. I've only been hit twice. So I look at the 18,000 miles and go, all right, I've only been hit twice. But that's the attitude you got to have. Always, always, always. All right? So don't dwell on the negatives and the problems, but deal with them. When they come up, if you can help someone that's having a problem, please, by all means, step in and help them. But when you see people say, I ain't selling online, I ain't selling on eBay because there's all these shipping problems, feel free to say, no, there really isn't. Because for the most part, the worldwide postal service works pretty well. Yes, there are some countries that could be better. Some need to bring their systems up to at least 1990. But for the most part, it works well. Has worked well for 18 years. Back when I had to fill out stupid forms with pen and stand in line and wait for them to tear it off, scan it, stamp it, give it to me. That sucked back then. That sucked when you're doing 500 products a month. Yeah. So there it is. Hour. Boom. On the dot. Yay. There it is. Priority mail. But like I said, we'll be back with basically essentially a part 2. Me and Marie are going to walk you guys through Pirate Ship. But feel free. It's not complicated. Feel free to go sign up. Signing up is cheap. It's free. It's easy and takes about 30 seconds. Tops. So sign up and start looking. Look at what it would cost you on eBay to ship it. Look what it cost you on Pirate Ship. Now, I got to add the measurements. You really won't know probably until you have it packed and ready to go. But trust me when I tell you, you're going to save money. So, yeah. And Mary, that's always been my attitude too. If you don't want to sell online and ship anywhere, fine. More money and customers for me. So yeah, I fully agree. Fully agree. I wasn't afraid to do it when I should have been because it was more complicated in 2000. Now it's easy peasy. But all right. Thank you, everybody. Remember, Beachcomber for Life. What up? I will have the guest webinar at the end of the month here. And the big webinar next month will be CDs for everyone in the world who wants to take it. It'll be free for you guys. Everyone else will have to pay a little bit. It'll be one that does cost money, but the information you're going to get is going to be great. And for y'all, the Secret Beach, you're getting the ultimate BOLO list. Not so much for you, even though you should use it, but for your spouse, your significant other, your life partner who doesn't care for much for thrifting. If you can print them off a list in alphabetical order by section, anyone can follow that. Anyone can walk into a record store, find the Metallica section and look for these 2 CDs. Then they can go find Prince and look for these 2. So as part of a bonus for just the Secret Beachcombers, y'all are going to get the printout BOLO list. That'll be pretty bitchin'. That's how I got Stacy in to help me in the record stores. You can get any non-thrifter into it because it makes it easy. If your significant other can read the alphabet, it's easy. All right? So there we go. And yes, we are off to Minnesota this week, so I can't wait to see y'all. Debbie's coming with me. Stacy's coming with me. And I just found out Stephanie's coming with us too. So yes, pack for warm clothes, but I can't wait. It's still 100 degrees here. I cannot wait for jeans and a sweatshirt. I am dying for that. So we're gonna have fun. We got classes. We got Susan's meetup on Thursday night. So if you're in the Minnesota area and you haven't signed up for the meetup yet, please sign up and come have some hot hoagies. I'll be doing a presentation on getting ready for Q4 and some tiki knowledge. And then after the class on Friday, we're going to a tiki bar. Saturday is the other class. And Saturday night, Stacey and I are going to rock out to Justin Timberlake. Woo woo! Yeah. Don't forget eBay discounts posted. They also charge their eBay fee and what you purchase from them. Absolutely. All right. So that's it. I'm out of here. Thank you all. Have a good day. I'll see you on the Secret Beach. And I'm going to post the link right now to get your priority eBay branded boxes in the Secret Beach. So feel free to order them. And they're free to order. All right. Aloha. See ya.